Now it's time to execute the deploy goal, but we don't have any central repository. So even though we try to execute the deploy goal, it doesn't work. So if you go and see the what is deploy, deploy is nothing but to copy our final packages onto the remote repository. So we don't have any remote repository. But at this moment, we are getting all packages from the Maven central repository that we can check it out by using Maven repository URL. If you give, you can see here Maven repository repos central. And if you go here, there is a URL that is repo1.maven.org. If you click on this, it will list out all the repositories. I mean to say all the packages or libraries which we can get it from the Maven. So even we were doing the JUnit, right? So if I search for JUnit, you can see JUnit is there. And again, if I go to JUnit, there are versions. We are using 4.11. Even apart from 4.11, we can use the some other versions as well. I can still use 3.8. Let me try to use the 3.8 and we'll see what happens. So it is not responding. Let me close it and reopen it quickly. We are just trying to reopen it. It is taking the default workspace location and launch it. Okay, now what we are doing is we are going to update our configuration, that is pom.xml. In pom.xml, we are going to use JUnit instead of 4.11. I'm going to use the 3.8. So even though the dependencies also get changed to the 3.8 instead of 4.11. Let me save this file. And if I refresh, yep, you can see here JUnit 3.8, but this time there is no dependency with the other packages. So if I go to dependency hierarchy, JUnit alone can get downloaded and stores in the Maven repository. That is how we can pull it. So in case if we try to access the package which is not there in the remote repository, let's take an example that I'm going to the pom.xml. Assume that 3.82, which doesn't exist at all. So let me save this file, and you can see here error message. Okay, problems, I think errors. If you see the errors, it will tell you that missing artifact JUnit. Why? Because if you go and check in your central repository, there is no such kind of package. We have 3.8.2 but not 3.82. Okay, if that package is there in the central repository, then only we can able to use it. So the packages must be available in the central repository. In case if you have your own remote repository and if there is such kind of version, maybe then you will get it. But most of the cases, these kind of libraries or files, we are going to pull it from the Maven central repository. So you should make sure that the existing repositories or libraries should be there. Okay, now again I have changed it to 8.2 and I think it should be get updated. And anyway, I'm keeping it back to the our original one. File, save, that's it. Okay, so this is how we can work with the repositories on our local system. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next lecture.